welcome along to our first session here on Full-Time. In fact, it might be, well, actually, it's more like our last session here on Full-Time, sadly. Anyway, this is a no-holds-barred episode that we're going to be bringing onto our podcast. So, if you, so a bit of a disclaimer here. If you don't like the word fuck, cunt, or shit, then hard fucking luck. What do you guys reckon, eh? First of all, we're introducing to our show, Rail Walker. Kia ora, bro.
Yeah, good morning, boys. Well, I've always been polite there, Keithy. I tend to say all that French language for, behind the scenes, and but that's just the way, things go. And look, I like the way your intro included a word when you said something to the effect of, in fact. That could be a telltale sign of a future show in the pipeline using those.
Hurry up, bro!
That's still to come. But yeah, no holds barred show, eh? I might throw in a swear word or two.
Oh,
we'll see how
goodness
things
sake.
go. Get the beat machine
Get a
ready
move
there,
on.
Keithy.
Thanks a lot, Ra. Awesome stuff, bro. Also joining us from up there in Pidal, we have our man, Reno Wilkinson. Kia ora, bro.
Yeah, kia ora, bro. Fuck, it's good to be back on the show.
Awesome stuff, my bro. Great to have you on the show too. And also, you would have heard our man JT getting a bit of his angst up with Rail Walker. Good to have you on the show too today, there, bro.
Yeah, no, all my fucks and cunts and shits were out the window last night with a lost mate. How are you, boys?
Fair enough. Now, boy, well, let's get your take on that game last night. Of course, the Storm, they went up against the Roosters to try and to make the grand final for next week. What were your thoughts, first of all, JT?
Well, as we mentioned in the virtual green room before we went on here, just went good enough, didn't turn up again. It was like rewinding the clock back 12 months to the grand final. We didn't turn up there either, and Roosters too good. As much as I hate to say it, but I think they'll go on and go back to back. I think most of us were going for the Raiders, but mate, just our team was too shit, didn't turn up, and didn't play dumb football, whatever. All good. It's over now, so we're on the bus with the other 14 teams that aren't alive, going around in circles until next year.
So, well, what's your take on it then, Reno? Because I thought it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Just the Roosters seemed to want it a lot more hungrier for the win. Their defence just shut down some of the areas of the Storm, but like JT said, they just didn't turn up, unfortunate. Go back last week, really gave it to the Eels, and I thought, this team's looking right on. Traditionally, they go pretty good back-to-back, but, mate, they just didn't turn up, didn't front up. They tried their hardest. They never gave up, but I think the Roosters just wanted it that bit more, and you saw the result, and they're in the big dance next Sunday night up against the Raiders. So, the old Storm. Oh, I'll tell you what, now it's a language show. Imagine ringing up Craig Bellamy to talk to today.
Oh, mate. What do you reckon Bellamy would be saying, JT?
Well, you'd put him in an umbrella and some goggles so he didn't get some spit and saliva and whatever else come out of his mouth. Yeah, he'd probably be disappointed, and, fair enough. There's another 12 months down the shithole, basically. They've worked hard all year and had a pretty good result, actually, throughout the year in terms of where they finished on the minor premiership. But like I said to a lot of people, no one remembers who won the minor premiership. They only remember who won the big one, and that's just a fact of life. But, he won't be happy, but, back to square one and then try again next year, get back on the horse that they bucked them off last night and have another go.
One of the things you've been saying, and I'm not sure if it was through mid-season or, certainly early in the season, you were saying that the Roosters certainly look like the team to beat, even though the Storm, went on to be minor premiers as we knew they would. They were out in the lead for most of the season. You were continuing to say that the Roosters are going to be the team to look out for, isn't it, JT?
Yeah, well, look, if you look back throughout the season, they've lost a lot of players throughout the year to injury, suspension and whatnot. So very, very rarely were they at full strength. And a full-strength Roosters side, even last night, there's just no weaknesses right across the park. They got Jared White-Hargreaves and the inspirational little hooker captain, Jake Friend, to come back into the mix as well. So, mate, you look at it that way, I just you just can't see any Achilles tendons in that lineup. And unfortunately, I think, like I said, I've been saying it all year, if they're at full strength, they're going to be very hard to beat. And, it's sort of, I hate to call myself Nostradamus, but I'm Nostradamus, whatever. Can I say that? Of course I can.
Sure you can. Sure you can. That's pretty true though, Reno? Boy, they haven't been at full strength, but they've been pretty good nonetheless, haven't they?
Oh, you look at those players who just step up to the mark and what they kind of bring. You got some of the experienced players who are veterans in that squad, and they just play hard out, mate, for their club and everything, and they just wanted their game more. And like JT said, there's a few major names missing out from the squad, but you give it to these ones that have jumped in there and had the opportunity, and wow, yeah, they surely turn out to play. Just star power, strike power right across.
Yes,
even
true.
Both teams, when you take a look at last night,
Yep.
but one team just wanted it a bit more, and that's why we seem to love the game and watch these big paid players on show. And I tell you what, most of them do turn up week in, week out, compared to another team that I know of that don't turn up that often. Their ladies do better than them, but yeah, anyway. But I think the Roosters will be too tough next Sunday, but I want to go for the green machine, bro.
Me too. I'm certainly going for the green machine. I have since they beat the Warriors in one of those rounds in the NRL regular season. That's when I decided, yep, I'm going to follow these guys and see how they do, and they've done really well just to get into the grand final for another shot at a title. Reno?
Yeah, that's right. And I can't wait till next Sunday. Looking forward to all the final games, mate, in the NRL, and especially our ladies' women's team. They gave the Broncos girl their first loss, the girls' team their first loss of the season.
Yeah.
They were the much favourite going into their Coonawarra game prior to the big game last night, and our Warrior girls got out to a good start there, 10-0 in the start, and a couple of good tries. Physicality was there. Obviously, the Broncos worked out the plan to shut down their devastating number 7. Got knocked around, a couple of head clashes here and there, and well, the result stands, and our girls are up to the big dance, as some would say. And how good is that into the second year? And you got our Warrior girls there, and Georgie Hale just seems to construct the whole team right around the paddock. And yeah, mate, I'm enjoying it, especially some of the big hits. And yeah, good to see the girls play, and the young centre too for the Warriors, the Blondie, used to play rugby for North Harbour, and was touted to be into the women's sevens team, but decided to go into league, and trying to think of her name off the top of my head, but yeah, she was playing wicked. But no, I love it, mate. Good to see the girls out there doing the mahi. Yeah,
indeed. Now, bit of a turnaround from last week, isn't it, JT, for the Warriors girls? Of course, they got beaten, and quite convincingly, really. Of course, able to, for me, and for I think a lot of people, a little bit unexpected. What did you reckon, bro?
Yeah, it was a bit unexpected, given that they had their coach didn't turn up. Her father or her mother passed away, so that was a bit of a shock during the weekend, and also one of their key players, either the father or mother passed away also, so they had two key losses in the lead up to the match. But yeah, mate, it was edge of the seat stuff. I thought, here we go, they've taken a leaf out of the Bloomin' Warriors men's book, and why did I say Bloomin'? They've taken a leaf out of the fucking Warriors men's book, and they're going to throw it away here, but to their credit, they held on, and like Rito touched on, some of those tackles, mate. There's a girl there, Nuasala. Yep. She absolutely folded a couple of those Broncos girls, and the other girl, I can't think of her name, but yeah, mate, just had me jumping out of my seat watching some of that stuff. Yes. It's really good. It's almost like it's unsanitized, because a lot of the NRL stuff is just too much bloody cameras, and all painful, for contracts or whatever. And so watching the girlies run around was very inspiring.
Some real hard hits, obviously, and that's what you see in a lot of these women's games. And obviously that's really worked into the Warriors' favour there, Reno? What do you reckon, bro?
Yeah, they shut down, they targeted, but Brigginshaw, she's still a star. She's a star player for the Broncos girls, and it was like watching the Warriors evolve some parts of their game yesterday. They just stood back and defence never came up, but once they got their rush defence going up into the Broncos' faces, they just couldn't create anything. But once they got back into that stance, it was like, oh, here we go. Don't do the dumbass Warrior things that they would do, and let the attack come towards you. But hey, they got some good tries. Take nothing away from the Bronx girls. the wide out passes around the back there. And, yeah, our girls just wanted that a little bit more. And you talked about last week, it was they never turned up, just like the Storm did last night. And, I look forward to it. Hopefully we see a lot of Warrior fans out there. And I know they don't traditionally get a big crowd turn up for the girls fighter, but just hope all the Cuzzy Bros all over there and Aussie over in Sydney will come out and support our girls.
Well, I certainly hope that there is going to be a lot of support out there to see our women, girls, our ladies out there, of course, playing in their final. When you talk about the defence, the rush defence is because one of the things that I find is the reason why a lot of those teams, especially the Warriors, they don't tend to rush up all the time is, in my opinion, fitness. What do you reckon, Reno?
Oh, totally right. Now, that's the men's team that's pretty well described sometimes how their play unfolds and things don't work right. Saw it last night. You saw with the Roosters and the Storm, some of the defence patterns coming up in your face, and you just got to kind of create and slow things down. Otherwise, once you get that roll on, you're running the backwards, mate. We all know what kind of happens, and it's a bit tough to counteract. So now the girls got through in the end there, and defence wins games. There you go.
Indeed.
And there's a key factor to the last two nights, actually, when you take a look at the Raiders and the Roosters win. So defence is a key and always is a key, and Warriors sometimes don't bring that defence.
Oh, a lot of the time. They don't bring that defence. But what happened defensively for the Storm last night there, you reckon, JT?
Oh, look, I just think one thing that the Roosters had over us last night was their power, was their aerial superiority. There's two plays there, both in attack and offence. We looked like we were going to score a try, or at least get it in the end goal, and up we went. And then Latrell Mitchell came out of nowhere and stole it, and got a 7-tackle restart for them. And then at the other end of the paddock, the big, what do they call him, the giraffe, Daniel Tupou, up above the pack, brought it down into the end goal, managed to get his arms free and offloaded for the first try. So I couldn't understand why we were trying to bomb them because, our most aerial player was on the bench, young Vunivalu. But, yeah, just, in terms of our defence, I think once Kafusi went off, that sort of upset the routine a bit. He's a solid worker out there on that edge, and he lost a fair chunk of his hair, the poor bugger. And then, look, that upsets your routine, your patterns, and then other people got to come on. I don't know why Craig Bellamy puts that idiot Shandor Earl on the bench. He offered nothing. He came on, dropped the first ball. But it's easy to be critical now and at the result. But look, at the end of the day, I'll just still maintain. I'd like the Raiders to win. I've got a lot of good friends that are Raiders supporters and Roosters as well. But I just think the Raiders, it'll be the fairy tale for them. But if I was to put money on it, I'd definitely put it on the Roosters. Yeah,
they certainly are looking the goods, and it's obviously team that like you said, Mr. Nostradamus, it's a team you've been saying has been the team to look out for, which certainly has come to fruition. What do you think the Canberra Raiders can do to maybe upset them then, JT?
I just think they've got to come down and bring it to a street fight. The Roosters like to play quite a fancy sort of a game, quite an open running game. Although they can match up in the middle, but I just think those Canberra, especially those three Englishmen, if they can get down and dirty and play, a little bit of niggling here and there and try and upset the Roosters and upset their go forward, I think that's what Canberra has to do. I think look, even right across the park, they've got some good players, but like I said, 1 through 13 and even 1 through 17, there's very little weakness in that Roosters team, and so just thinking, Canberra just got to upset them a little bit, do something a little bit different. And Ricky Stewart is a bit of a master of the unorthodox. So, yeah, I wouldn't write them off, but two things count against them, and that is the Roosters, just the superiority of their side, and the fact that it's a big grand final and they've been there before. I don't think any of the Canberra side have played in one of these before, so it'll be there might be the possible in the headlights. Look, I hope not, but like I said, if I was to put money on it, I'd put it on the Roosters.
What do you reckon? How can the Canberra Raiders win against the Roosters next week? Reno?
Yeah, a couple of key areas. The halves, the Raiders, they need to fuck up Luke Keary, smash him. I hate that little shit. I was hoping Kafusi would have knocked him out. He's a little shit, man. He's a little fox terrier that just keeps going. But shut him down, get into Cooper